Hi, this is Steve Petrick. I'll be talking about Engineering Village. What is Engineering Village? Engineering Village is the first place for engineering researchers. It helps engineering researchers find answers to questions from the abstract to the precise, from the basic to the complex, using the most comprehensive engineering content and powerful tools to help engineers find what they're looking for. It's important to point out that Engineering Village is geared for engineers, engineering researchers specifically, where they can search across multiple databases in one place. And it is considered a platform where other databases like Scopus, for example, are kind of, there's no source selection. You have one place to search, and that's all you have. With Engineering Village, it includes Elsevier databases as well as third-party databases that you can select, and each client has the ability to subscribe to each individual database. So what I'll do here is to show you at a high level some of the databases that are available. Three databases are third-party databases: Inspect, GRF, and NTIS, which are highlighted in yellow. It's also important to point out that there's two databases that are key or important databases. The most popular ones are Compendex and Inspect. Compendex is a Elsevier engineering abstract and index database. Inspect is a third party owned by IET. That's a very valuable database to engineers. Including content databases, we have ebooks and patents as well. Markets and customers. First and foremost, 80% of the customers for Engineering Village are academics. So we're talking about over 1,300 universities worldwide, and this includes 98% of the top engineering schools in the U.S. Government and corporate accounts make up about 20% of the remaining accounts. We also have some very strong government accounts, various agencies, and from labs to the armed forces. And again, Fortune 500 companies as well that are engineering and focused, depending on their industry, use Engineering Village as well. The key difference for Engineering Village and why it's different than some of the other databases is that it's focused on engineers. It's designed specifically for engineering researchers, engineers, and information professionals. So it's a product built for engineers, by engineers, for engineers. And what makes it different is the database content as well as the powerful tools that it has. EI Thesaurus, which is a thesaurus for the Compendex database, makes it a key tool to help researchers find the right information, and it's unique to Engineering Village, and I'll be showing you specifically what that is in just a moment. So to understand why people use Engineering Village, you need to understand what are the common workflows, and it's similar to other customers, but it's a little bit unique in terms of the engineering segment because they're very focused in engineering, and having a database that goes beyond their engineering field is not necessarily something they really want to care to see, so it slows them down having too much information. So Engineering Village allows them to kind of have that engineering slice of content focused on their needs. So they're looking for established research and technology. They're looking for technology trends, either to forecast or identify existing ones, some guidance in developing a research strategy. In addition, they're also trying to find out what else is out there on a specific topic to make sure they're not going down a wrong path or to avoid reinventing the wheel. And also there's opportunities for licensing, either develop a potential opportunity or find out what exists already out there. And two, it's a great tool for finding partners, clients, and competitors as well. Now, what are customers saying about EV, and what do they like about it? Here we've got two perspectives, one from the engineering librarian and another one from an engineering end user. So as a librarian, they consider Engineering Village the resource for their students. It's the most comprehensive on all the subjects, and specifically a lot of engineering librarians perform master's or PhD level classes teaching Engineering Village and using Engineering Village as a tool for them. Compendex, the database on Engineering Village, is seen as the most comprehensive and most used by the engineering field. So Compendex really is a key resource for us. And you can see below about the end users of why, some of their comments. And again, it's just promoting the fact that Compendex is seen as the resource for engineers doing research. And ease of use platform that Engineering Village provides, is a great combination. So you've got the content, you've got unique tools, and an easy to use interface. Okay, so let's see what the Engineering Village looks like. So let's go into Engineering Village. We're under the Quick Search tab. Quick Search is the most used and typically the defaulted tab that users have access to when they go in Engineering Village. And you can see in this screen we've got all 14 of the databases. And actually there's 13 showing here, but I considered there's another one based upon the date range. But of these databases, customers can select which ones they want by just selecting specific databases. This example, I'll just select Compendex. The Quick Search tab is pretty straightforward. You've got a search text box, search in fields, which customers can specifically search individual fields. Typically, they just keep it at the all fields. And you've got other search rows that they can search on. A limit by feature allows customers to specifically fine-tune their search and target specific elements of an article. You have treatment types, disciplines, any languages they can specify, a date range, updates, and they also have the ability to sort by. Typically people sort by relevance, but they have publication year, and then we have an auto stemming, which is automatically on for all users. Another feature to point out is the Browse Index. Browse Index is a search tool that users can use to access the various kind of control terms that we have access to, and it's really good for authors' names. If someone knows about a specific author, they can go and click and select that individual, and you've got an alphabetical A to Z listing, and then within that you can select, within each of those letters. So in this case, if I wanted to select this individual here, I would select the box, and you can see it would appear over in the search for box with the author segment listed. So it's another way of allowing users to kind of select and access information a little bit easier and allow their search to be very specific in what they're looking for. The other tab to look at is the Expert tab, which again you'll see the databases off to the left, and they can select which ones they would like. And then you have a kind of a text box that's free form, so users can type specifically the search query that they want, the search for items, the sort by, and then you have these search codes. These are specific search codes, and you can see we provide the field name and then what sources use this field name. And this, if you're not familiar with this is kind of overwhelming, but for users that are expert searchers, this is something that they have known for quite a long time how to use this. So this is something that's relatively easy for them to follow along. But again, the same principle applies. We've got, related to the browse indexes, we've got a search tool here that allows them to bring these up, and they can select certain areas. So let's look at N for one here. Let's choose nanocrystals. You can select that, and you can see it types in the nanocrystal's name, and then within, and then CV, which is a controlled term. So again, you can use these codes, or you can use the browse index to help along and kind of enter the query. Okay, another one to point out, another tool to navigate and get access to content is the thesaurus. There are 4 thesauruses that are available. They're all individual, so you can only search one at a time because each thesaurus is related to that specific source. But Compendex is the most popular. There's Inspec, GeoRef, and GeoBase. Now these are showing because I'm currently subscribed to all 4 of these, but if I'm a customer and I have access to Compendex, I would only see Compendex here. But the idea here is that a user would type in, let's say, nanotechnology, complete a search, you've got a screen that comes up, and these terms here, if they see, okay, crystal engineering is what I care about, they can select, and it'll appear down in the search box below, and they can run a search. So what I've shown you is the quick search, the most common and defaulted tab that customers use, the expert search, and now this is SARS. So I'll just run a search here and show you the results set. So just real briefly, the result set is pretty self-explanatory. You've got some refined and new search functions at the top. The number of records appears right below the search results, the source, and the date range. And you can see the search query that was run. And then it's sorted by relevance. You've got the article, and you can see in each article you've got an abstract, a detailed view, or a full text link. Now this can be turned on or off. If you have a local link repository, that feature can be turned on, very similar to Scopus. And then off to the right, you've got these navigators, and in this case, you've got author affiliation. And a customer can select these, and that's a typical kind of behavior as users come in here, run initial broad search, find what they're looking for, and then can refine their query. And you've got include and exclude features up at the top. And you can also scroll down and search within. And you also can see here the some recent features that we've added was decided by. So if I go and hit the select abstract, this will bring me to the abstract of the article. And you can see it's you've got the article itself here, the abstract, control terms. So these are the items that are unique to Engineering Village. And you've got classification codes, the database. And then off to the right, we've added something called Tools in Scopus, which offers the cited-by links for Scopus. So it's going to give you the number, and also it's going to give you the first two articles. In addition, we've also added author details, which is going to provide you access to the author profile for each of these individuals. So even if I'm not a subscriber to Scopus, I'm still going to be able to see this feature, and I can select on that and see the results appear inside of Scopus. Again, I do not have to be a subscriber to Scopus. If I am not, I will still see this screen. If I am a subscriber of Scopus, I'll see the same screen I can click through. But if I'm not a subscriber, I still can see the result list. I just can't click on the document. So this is a way that we've shown the ability to integrate Scopus inside of the cited by count, specifically inside of the engineering user's workflow. In addition, the author details, we can click on an author, and I'll be able to bring up the author profile. Again, if I'm not a subscriber to Scopus, I will still see this screen. They can see this screen, and it'll be no links will be able to work, but at least they can see this initial screen. So there's some useful information here about the number of documents, the index, the references, and so forth. And they can scan down and see, more information, affiliation, information, the full name, and so forth. So it's just a way for us to add a little more functionality to the EV's workflow. Return to here. Another recent enhancement that we've added is the articles in press. So what I'll do is I'll change the document type to articles in press, type in nanotechnology, run a search, and you can see we've added this articles in press. And articles in press is a version of a document that is not final. It's more current, but it's essentially the next level before an article being final. So it's a currentness feature that we've added. Scopus offers this feature. We've done this for Compendix as well, and all these articles are signified by the article in press item. One last thing we've done also recently with inspect content, we've added the ability for people to access the IPC codes. And IPC codes are the International Patent Classification Codes. So if I'm a patent researcher, this allows the user to select IPC codes. And these codes, if you're not a patent searcher, are tough to understand and to follow. But if you are, this is a kind of a structure that patent researchers are very familiar with, and it's kind of the way they do searching is using these IPC codes. So we've integrated these codes inside the browse index, so I can select and I can just hover over one of them, see the description of it, make that selection, run a search, and now I'm going to get articles for that IPC code. And you can see we've also added the Scopus cited by link feature as well for inspect content. But I can select on this, and you can see that that IPC code has been selected. Now, again, if I'm a patent researcher, this is very important and useful for what I do. So those are some of the recent features that we've added to Engineering Village. So in closing, just a couple more items here. Scopus and Engineering Village. Right now there's about over 350 institutions that have both access to EV and Scopus. So why EV, why Scopus? Well, we think both can function together very well. But the key difference for Engineering Village is that you can see on the screen there on the left-hand side, Engineering Village is very vertically focused on these fields: engineering, chemistry, physics, geology, material sciences, focusing on doing targeted research in these areas using a thesaurus search, which is only available on EV, having the control vocabulary, and having multiple databases, third-party databases access. Where Scopus is going to be more of a broad overview, a broad-based research, bringing in other disciplines, which for certain users is a huge advantage. For engineers, that's a complementary or a secondary kind of need. They'd rather stay in their single area of focus. So in closing, Engineering Village is the first place for engineers, and with powerful search tools and the most comprehensive content, specifically the EI Thesaurus, with key features that we've talked over the Compendex database. We have nearly 14 million documents. The Scopus cited by counts available to all users, as well as the author profile feature. And again, just to mention that Engineering Village is a dominant position inside North America and China, with some of the schools listed there on the right-hand side. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, Steve Petrick. Judy Salk is our content person, and then Pierre Van Dorn is our senior marketing person. Thank you.